Wait a minute. This ain't even the right map. Forgot to get the map from Kronos. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morganon, and I bid you all welcome back to Gothic 2, where we're playing the main menu music for some reason. Last episode we followed a certain gentleman named Alligator Jack to the pirate camp hideout on the beach. We haven't made our way inside yet. As soon as we got back here, we were told Satur wants to speak to us. So we'll make sure to do that, but we had to buy... I forgot to buy this map from Kronos, which we actually don't need. It's kind of a waste of money, but let's see what it's about. So we can see that despite the rather substantial landmass we're dealing with in the New World area, a lot of it's not accessible. A lot of it's just hilly mountains. Shame that this area really didn't open up as much as Corinus did, but for what it is, I actually kind of like the environments here. They're a little bit confusing, don't all make sense, but we'll discuss that when we come to it. Let's find Satur. He wanted to have a word with us. Well, keep your seat.
It is good you came. We have new discoveries that we must share with you.
Then let's hear it.
The sunken city once bore the name of Jharkendar. There were 5 rulers in the city who shared the power over their people. Each of these rulers had a mansion where he lived and kept his belongings. Therefore, in your search for the relics of the ancient culture, it is crucial that you should search through these mansions.
Where should I look for these mansions?
Riord has studied the structure of the buildings in Jharkendar. He will tell you where you should look for the mansions.
What if these mansions no longer exist?
If you cannot find the houses, then they presumably sank with the city. However, should they still exist, they would be of inestimable value for our studies.
Inestimable.
May Adonos protect you.
Wow, that was ominous. Not sure I trust his protection, given his reputation for wrath. I'm not really sure what triggers the update for Satur's dialogue. If it's, it must be coming back through the second of the portals, since it's Mardarian who tells us to go talk to him. But that's really an odd thing to trigger it, because if you don't ever activate these for some reason, then you never get informed. So let's chat up Riordian. See what he's cooking.
Tell me what...
We didn't need to do that.
Satur sent me. I'm supposed to search through the 5 mansions of Jharkendar.
It took me a long time to find the location of the mansions in the writings of the builders, but now I can tell you exactly.
Well, let's hear it.
Where do I find the 5 mansions?
The House of the Scholars is a large library. It must be somewhere far to the north. The House of the Warriors was a fortress ringed by rocks in the east. The priests and guardians of the dead had their dwellings near each other. You should find them in the southwest. And the healers had their House of Convalescence in the southeast. If these houses are still standing, you'll recognize them from their method of construction. They are elevated. A steep stairway leads to the entrance covered by high columns.
About the mansions?
Yes?
Tell me again where each one...
We don't need to hear that. So you can actually spot these mansions on the map. They're not really terribly distinct with these this kind of scribbly map, but for the most part, they're what the pathways lead to. So the end of the pathways are where most of the mansions are. So he said in the southeast, that's in the southeast corner of the swamp, and south or northeast is actually where the bandits are hiding out. We will come across that later. Furthest point to the north is the scholars, and the 2 on the southwest are pretty easy to spot. We get a different map that covers the same landmass, just has some extra information on it. So paying $250 for Kronos' map is not necessary. But we done it. So for whatever reason, new critters show up when you come back through the portal. I don't really know why. So we need to get into the pirate camp, but before we do that, I want to talk to Alligator Jack, because while I was doing a sort of test recording previously, I noticed something peculiar. Weapon, please. I noticed something odd, which I want to point out after a little bit of testing, because it might confuse some people. Certainly confused me for a minute. So he told us that he, rather than hanging out inside the camp, has a little... just an awning, really. And do not spurn the mushrooms that you pass. We definitely want all the dark mushrooms that we can find in this part of the world. Alligator Jack has the only static wolf skins I've ever seen, which is unfortunate because I would totally steal that Shadow Beast skin. Sell it to Baspa.
Teach me.
What is it you want to learn?
So this here is a bit misleading. We already know how to skin animals, so it's odd that that shows up again. What this actually is supposed to say is skin reptiles, which for some reason is a different ability from skinning, I guess, mammals. But it's a much less useful ability because nobody pays a good price for reptile skins and they're not used for anything. And the only reptiles you can skin, I think, are lurkers and lizards. The weirdest thing is that if you learn this from him, it still shows up as an option to learn again, but he gives that default dialogue where he says, "There's nothing more I can teach you." So he doesn't have anything that we need. Pulling teeth is also not a terribly helpful skill. Right, left. No, we passed that tower earlier. If you were to approach it, there's 3 bandits who hang out at that tower. And the reason I point that out is to potentially head off any questions we have as we approach the gate here. Wow, this palisade does not look like it's coming together too well. Obviously, these guys were not carpenters before they took up a life of piracy.
Halt, friend or foe?
Foe.
Asking for a good spanking, you clown. Tell me what you want here, or beat it, and fast.
Ugh, I'm not sure I want anything. It was a weird, really weird statement from him.
I want in there.
Really? That'll cost you, though. 500 gold pieces.
Huh? For what?
Don't make such a fuss. There's plenty of stuff here in camp that might interest you, and you look like someone who's got gold on him. So a small contribution is not gonna kill you? Or did you steal those posh rags of yours?
So he makes that comment because even though we're not wearing the mage robes, that comment's tied to a check for what our current guild is. It happens a lot. So, even though we're not in mage garb, he knows we're a mage.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? I must see to it that these miserable wretches gets the palisade built in time. If they don't, Captain Greg will kick my ass all over the place. Also, I keep strangers from traipsing in here just like that.
Obviously not for free, though.
Greg's your boss?
He sure is, and it's Captain Greg to you. Have I made myself clear? He's a great man. If you meet him, be careful not to get on the wrong side of him. You won't live long enough to regret it. He's not in the camp right now, though. Francis is in command for now. He sits in front of Greg's hut all day and goggles at us working.
What are you building the palisade for?
But we don't want to make it too easy for the bandits. Those bastards are getting more brazen all the time. They've been sneaking around our camp for days now, just like sharks after a shipwreck. Some of those good-for-nothings are holding up in the tower a little south of here. But that's only an advance party, I'm sure. If they're really stupid enough to mount an attack, we'll give them a welcome they won't forget.
Why would the bandits attack you?
Because there's war between them and us. What did you think? Everything was peachy at first. We brought them here, they marched right into their swamp and left us alone. But now, those bastards attack anyone who's not one of them. Heaven knows what's gotten into them.
Gold.
I reckon they may be after our boats. There's no other way to get out of here after all. You should ask Skip about this. He's been with them and barely got away with his life. He's got quite an interesting tale to tell. Too bad you can't hear it, though. You haven't paid your toll after all.
About those bandits in the tower.
If you're planning to take them on all by yourself, forget it. I'll be sending 2 people from my raiding troop soon. Let them handle the bandits.
I want to join your raiding troop.
But you won't get past me that easily, kid. First, let's talk about whether you can get into the camp at all.
Can you teach me how to be a better fighter?
First, pay your toll. After that, I can talk to you about fighting. It's all included in the price.
Well, hey, so we're not just getting fleeced after all.
Can't we come to an agreement somehow?
Well, give me a good reason and I might make it cheaper for you.
So this is why we've been hanging. This is why we made sure to work with Alligator Jack and talk to Malcolm on the way here. But, oh. What's this I've had in my back pocket since, like, episode 7 or something? Well, I forgot to give this to old Skip on the beach. Wonder if it's any good. Hopefully no perishable goods in this package.
I've got a delivery here for Skip. Is he here?
Yeah, Skip is here. And now?
And now let me in.
Malcolm sent me. He says the wood may take a while.
Oh, great, I might have known. It's taken forever again.
I'm supposed to bring Morgan this meat.
Aha, and who sent you?
Alligator Jack. He says that Morgan is already waiting for it.
I see. Not in the mood himself, is he?
Let me in.
You brought me a message from our woodcutters. You want to play errand boy for Alligator Jack and bring the swamp rat meat to Morgan. You got a package for Skip. 200 gold pieces. Or you just get lost. It's as simple as that.
Well, I can do it, but let's hang on a
I
second.
think that's too much.
Come on, I already made it cheaper for you.
I wanted to check and see if there's any way to get past them if we happen to not have gold on our person. So anyway, that's the benefit to hanging on to Skip's package from Baltram for so long, which by this point I'm sure a lot of you watching forgot we even had it. I didn't know about that. I think it was Val who told me about that trick, because I always made sure to give it to Skip as soon as we had it. So it's a neat trick to find, a neat trick to get this a little bit cheaper. Now, the bandits in the tower, you might think to go and take care of them yourself in order to get some brownie points with Henry. But I tested that a couple of times, and he does not make the price any cheaper if you take care of him yourself. I did observe that you get 200 XP if you take him on yourself, and I want to see if that rings true later when he actually gives us the quest.
Halt. Friend up.
This again.
Friend.
Anyone can say that. I don't know you. What do you want here?
So there we get that a little bit different.
Let me in.
You brought me a... You got a 200 gold pieces. Or you just get lost.
Okay. So it just treats it as if we refuse to pay. Shame. Alright, so 200 gold it is.
Halt, friend.
Yeah, we've been through this.
Good. Here's your gold.
Thanks. Welcome to our camp. If you were planning to sign on with us, lad, you're out of luck. Only the captain decides who gets to sign on in here, and he took half the crew and went to sea after booty. But you can stay until he's back, provided you don't cause any trouble here.
I don't cause trouble, I am the trouble.
I want to join your raiding troop.
Well, welcome to my raiding troop then. One more fighter to help keep the bandits off our backs. Grab one of the boys and make short shrift of those bandits in the tower.
Where exactly is that tower located?
Set off from here and keep to the right. You'll find the tower on a small cliff there.
Aye, aye, sir.
So I can't join you guys, but you'll let me fight on your behalf, which kind of seems like 90% of the point of joining you. So he lets us pick any one of these two dudes to come help us. The obvious thing to go for is the guy with the big axe. There's actually more than one reason to take this guy along. Probably my single favorite thing in this entire game.
Hey! How's it going?
Stop gabbing at me.
Are you one of Henry's boys?
No, I'm just sawing up this tree for entertainment. What's up? Did Henry tell you what you're supposed to do?
Yes, I'm supposed to do in a few bandits for him.
Oh no, don't look at me that way. I don't want to go there. Just leave me to my sawing, will you?
No sawing for you.
Come with me.
He could have asked somebody else.
But I didn't. You come along now. Let's make a save. For some reason I am not prolific with saves this walkthrough, and it's bitten me in the ass many times. So this guy is probably, for the short time we have him with us, one of the funniest characters in the game. For one simple line. And that's why I like to bring him along. The other guy is pretty boring. But also, given his big axe, he's a little bit more helpful in the fight ahead. But with our magic ice missiles, pretty much take care of it ourselves. There's supposed to be black goblins here. Did I already take care of them? I don't think I did. Where the hell did they go? Did they disappear for this quest? Any hoot. I think it's just, yeah, 2 missiles to take these idiots down. We can pretty much take care of this ourselves, except that guy crouches when he crossbows, so that's annoying.
You know what? I've been doing some thinking. You're an asshole! I'm headed back to the camp, and I hope I never set eyes on you again!
Oh, I love this guy. You know, I've been doing some thinking. You're an asshole. I wish I could say that to just about everybody I work with. But alas, I cannot be so blunt. We can hear some mantises around the corner. Let's take care of those before they cause us trouble. Those can be quite annoying because, well, there's one stuck up there. Sometimes I like to get involved in this fight because there's a lot of things with the creature AI. They can actually smell corpses from further away than they would normally aggro. And as soon as a body hits the ground, it counts as a corpse. So that's when these guys like to come flying around the corner and get involved. But also they might notice the corpses on the ground right now as you're trying to loot everything. And that has made me jump out of my skin at least once. When these came flying in like they own the place. Definitely a bit of loot around here that you're gonna want to collect. I don't think there's anything too exciting.
Nothing there.
You'll notice this tower looks a little bit familiar. It's actually the exact same tower. Both of these are the exact same tower as we see at Dexter's camp. Sorry, back on the island near the Onar's farm. Except they've actually been modified. They're a little more ruined. This one, I think. This is just kind of like a partial version of it without the ring around it. This one has the entry in the bed. Right, there. Left, 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 right, right. So this is pretty much the game that started the whole pirate fascination with piranha bytes. We saw, there wasn't really much of it in Gothic 3, but we did see a continuation of it, starting with Risen. And then obviously that became kind of the focal point for Risen 2 and 3. And you can all blame it on Greg. It is an interesting sort of crossover of settings between the medieval fantasy and the kind of pirates you wouldn't expect for like another 1,000 years or so. Anyway, so let's remember that we got 200 XP for taking care of it on our own and reporting back to Henry. Let's see what we get now.
About those bandits in the tower.
Yes?
Their history.
Great. One less problem then.
Alright, well thanks for the reward, Skinflint. I always liked how this pirate, like, when you choose that dialogue option, he, like, jumps up with a start. Like, he heard your voice again. He was like, oh no, not him again. I don't know, always made me a giggle.
It had to happen sooner or later.
What have we here? A fresh face, and not one of those filthy bandits, I hope. I'm Garrett. If there's anything you need, ask me first. I can get you almost anything. Wine, weapons, and other stuff you might need. Except for booze. If it's a decent drink you want, go see Samuel.
That was no big deal.
You don't tell me what to do. I'll see whoever
Who's
I want.
Samuel?
He's our moonshiner. He's got his cave on the beach, a little distance from the camp. You can't miss it. Just walk north. You'll be well advised to keep yourself supplied with grog. Some of the boys here aren't very fond of greenhorns at all, if you get my drift. A decent swig of grog can work wonders for you.
He really should have known better.
Yeah, I have
He doesn't see that. I can't.
other tastes, really.
Where do you get your supplies?
Skip always brings loads of stuff from Corinus when he visits there. Until recently, he used to sell some of it directly to the bandits. But since we've been at war with the bandits, I'm the one who ends up with all the stuff now.
You can't rely on that.
What do you know about the bandits?
You'd better ask Skip about that. He's been through quite a lot with that bunch. Let me tell you, Greg has given orders to do away with any bandit who shows up near the camp.
Tell me that.
Your Captain Greg. What's he like?
He's a tough old bastard, and no doubt about it. And greedy to the bone. He makes Francis, our treasurer, pay out not a penny more than what it takes to prevent a mutiny. And if one of us ever gets his hands on something really valuable, he'll inevitably take it for himself. I once took a compass from a royal frigate. That bastard Greg made me hand it over, of course. Bah. He probably buried it somewhere, just like the rest of his treasures.
Oh, you pirates and your fascination with burying treasure. Why don't you spend it, you know?
What if this time we use it to buy things? You know, things we like.
Business.
Where might Greg have buried that compass?
Greg once told me that death himself watches over my compass. Then he laughed.
Anything else?
There's a beach at the southern coast. It can only be reached by sea. Greg is said to have been there often. Maybe you'll find something there. I once went there to see what I might find myself, but the area is teeming with monsters. If you really want to give it a try, don't forget to bring a pick.
What can you tell me about Francis?
Greg put him in command while he's gone. But Francis is a total failure as a leader. He can't even get Morgan to stir his lazy ass out of bed. Henry and his boys are the only ones doing anything around here. The others are just enjoying themselves instead of working. I can only hope that Greg will come back soon. He'll give them all a good swift kick in the ass.
Yeah, and what about you? You just staying here all day.
Anything new?
Nothing ever happens anymore since Greg left.
That's been known a long time.
Show me your wares.
Things would have turned out.
So, Garrett is kind enough to sell a pick for quite a steep cost, 300 gold pieces. But his comment there is actually why we've been hanging on to this pick this whole time. Because we will need it to dig up all of Greg's treasures that he's stashed around the island. And we've seen one of them just outside the water mage's camp in the center of the island. And that's the reason why I did not
He really should have known better.
dig that one up just yet, because I figure we do them all at once.
That's no secret.
Anyway, so his weapons are pretty decent. He's got some that you can't really get anywhere else, as far as I recall. Mainly these four machetes.
That's been known a
But
long time.
the way weapons work in this game, given the strength to damage ratio, I think kind of trivialized the variety of weapons. You just end up picking the next one that you can possibly wield. Alright. So,
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Skip, my old friend, how you doing?
What have we here? Crossing the path of old Skip again? I know you. The bay near the city, remember?
I remember.
Skip, right?
I see I made a lasting impression. But I've seen your
Well, you're
mug
so famous.
elsewhere in the meantime. But of course...
No idea. You tell me.
Oh well, not a great likeness, but it's certainly you. Don't let it get to you. My own wanted poster looks just as daft.
Daft?
Doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
What are you talking about?
It had to happen sooner or later.
Oh, he didn't give it to us.
That was obvious
I thought he
all
gave it to
along.
us. Oh well.
He really should have known better.
I've got a package for you from Baltram.
That guy must really be keen on our
It's the whole
rum
thing.
if he sends his
Over again.
goods after us all the way here.
That's not
Here,
what I heard.
give him these 2 bottles of rum. I quaffed the 3rd one while I was waiting for
He
him.
really should have known better.
Alright, so that's the exact same outcome we'd get. Man, those are some twitchy board textures. Exact same outcome we would get if we had given them to him in his original harbor.
I'm staying out of it.
What are you doing here?
I've just come back from Corinus, and now I'm waiting for Greg to return.
That's no secret.
I saw Greg in Corinus.
Really?
That's been
Damn,
known a long
something
time.
must have gone wrong then. He should have been here with our ship some time ago. I suppose I should go back to Corinus and wait for him there. But certainly not today. I only just arrived here.
I'm no better off myself.
What can you tell me about the bandits?
The
Couldn't
bandits?
care less.
They're attacking us! Why do you think we're building this palisade? We brought those scumbags over here ourselves. We used to trade with them. Boy, let me tell you, they've got more gold than they'll ever know what to do with. They were prepared to pay any price for a bottle of rum. But those times are past. It's war now.
What happened?
Those bastards hadn't paid for their last shipment. So, I went there to see what had become of our gold. But when I got to the swamp, the swine attacked me. And that's not all. They killed Angus and Hank, 2 of our best people. Just stay away from that swamp, I tell you. They'll go after anyone who doesn't look as shabby as they do.
Well, I'm a shabby-dabby dude.
All over again.
Have you ever met Raven?
Certainly. When I was with Henry up at the gate, I watched Raven place some of his boys at the tower to the south.
That's not the
Just a
same as
stone's
meeting him.
throw from our camp. I guess they're supposed to spy on us.
I'm
I've
not
also
no
seen
more.
how he treats his people when they don't do his bidding. He'll make short shrift of anyone who doesn't obey his orders to the letter. Mark my words, stay well away from Raven.
I'm no better off myself.
Well, maybe we spared Dexter an even worse fate.
No secret.
Tell me more about Angus and Hank.
Angus and Hank were supposed to meet with some bandits in front of the camp. They were carrying all kinds of supplies. Everything those bastards had ordered from us. Forged steel, and lockpicks, and whatnot. But they never came back. The bandit swine must have done away with them. Morgan and Bill went out to look for them, without any success. Bill was pretty devastated. They were both friends of his. He's still young. These things really get to him. The rest of us took it in our stride. The goods we can afford to lose. But the grog they were carrying... We're talking at least 20 bottles!
That's a lot of bottles. So we can give them the 20 bottles, but in actual fact, we can never find them. And I don't think we have anywhere near that. I mean, you can find them in total. We currently got 11. But they don't exist for the sake of solving this quest. In actual fact, I think those bottles have been... Well, actually, no. We'll cross that when we come to it. I think I know exactly what happens to them, and it's really annoying.
Can you take me to Corinus?
No way. I'm not leaving now. I'll find myself a decent swig of grog first.
Oh, you old grog sot.
Have you got anything to sell?
If you want to trade, go to Garrett. He's in charge of our supplies.
Supplies.
I need bandits' armor.
You want to go in there? Are you insane? Once those guys find out, you're not one of them. You're sausage meat.
Do you have any idea where I could find armor like that?
You don't give up easily, do you? All right. We used to have a suit. Greg's probably still got it somewhere, up in his hut. Maybe you can buy it from him when he gets back.
You hardly know who to believe these
Can you tell me how to get into his hut?
Whoa there! Not so fast. You weren't thinking of ransacking Greg's stuff, were you? When he left, he gave the key to Francis and told him not to let anyone into his hut.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
What can you tell me about Francis?
Francis is our treasurer. The captain trusts him. That's probably why he left him in command. But none of the boys here really take him seriously. If you want to know more, talk to Samuel. He's got his still in the little cave north of here. There isn't a soul in this camp Samuel doesn't know all kinds of things about.
Yeah, whoever makes the booze or sells the booze always has all the secrets. There's a certain character who we'll run into later outside the camp, but there always seems to be a weird condition where he's still in the camp, and I never get it to trigger consistently. It's the guy Owen. We'll encounter him the next time we leave the camp, but I don't know what to make of it. If anyone knows what triggers him to be inside the camp, as opposed to out where we deal with him later, let me know.
Hey, how are things going with you?
What's up? Did Henry send you here? Tell him to get his planks as soon as I'm done. If he can't wait that long, he's welcome to saw them himself.
What are all these planks for?
We use them for the palisade, you dimwit. Greg thought it would be a good idea to secure our camp this way. We can save ourselves the work, if you ask me. If the bandits are really planning to attack us, this ridiculous palisade isn't going to stop them. We should have never tolerated them in our valley in the first place. If I'd known all this in advance, I'd have stayed in Corinus.
Can I help you saw?
Nah, I can handle this by myself.
Thank God.
I joined up here not long ago, and letting others do my work won't get me anywhere if you get my drift.
Whoops.
I'm looking for Angus and Hank.
I have no idea where they are. The bandits must have got them.
You were friends with them, weren't you?
All I know is that they were gonna meet up with the bandits in a cave not far from here. It must be somewhere outside our camp, to the east. I don't know where exactly. I've never been there myself. Maybe you should ask Alligator Jack about this. He's always roaming around outside the camp.
You've been to Corinus?
Yes, I kept myself afloat there, picking pockets and doing a little swindle or two. But whenever fewer ships came in, business got worse and worse. At some point, I got tired of being on the run from the militia for a few crusts of bread. That's when I joined Greg. Now I'm stuck here, sawing all day to build a palisade that's of no use to anyone.
Well, should have gotten an honest job then.
Done there, done that.
There's two nameless pirates here. We're a bit odd. You normally nameless characters just have repeating sort of generic dialogue, but this fellow here actually has a little bit more.
Fire, this heat by the fire makes me bloodthirsty. Say, have you got some grog for me?
I feel like he totally misread that line, because that makes no sense. Made me a bloodthirsty? What?
Here, take a sip.
Thanks, man.
Man?
Things would have turned out differently.
This guy does not know how to do any kind of accent.
What's up?
I have to take care of this gluttonous crew here. And that's why I'm standing here day and night, slaving over a hot frying pan.
It's not even a frying pan.
I'd be combing the beach and the shallows for a washed-up flotsam. Last week, a fat merchant vessel hit a reef right off the coast. And all that good stuff is washing up on the beach now. I really hope someone's going to take over my duty soon.
I couldn't care less.
And even that doesn't make sense, because it's supposedly been months since a merchant vessel's been around. So how the hell did one just smack into this last week? You think these guys would be all over it?
What can you tell me about Francis?
Francis? He's acting up like he's our captain. But just wait until Greg comes back. Then he'll crawl back under his rock and shrivel like a worm. He's pulling a fast one on everybody. If you ask me, I bet he's lining his own pockets. I didn't tell you this, and as long as there's no proof, you'd better not repeat this to anybody.
I blame you.
Anything else?
Francis is a total loser. Everything's been going to shambles here since he's been in a camp leader.
Tell me that isn't true.
Well, I get the suspicion that a fire's gonna light under all y'all asses soon.
Looky there, a newbie. And a landlubber at that. You're a bit scrawny for a pirate.
I'm as bulky as the rest of yous.
Can you teach me something?
Teach you? You bet. I could teach you to become stronger and improve your dexterity. But why would I want to do that?
Because I'll buy you a drink.
Not bad, kiddo. Got it. First try. But don't even bother to bring me some cheap rotgut.
I'll get you some grog.
Are you trying to poison me? I'm not touching that muck. Do you have any idea what's in there?
Rum and water,
Samuel
usually.
Has some good stuff as well. Go get me some of that. Have you ever tried Samuel's special recipe?
No, not yet.
Then have a go at it. It's a must try. Oh, I love this concoction.
I get your point.
Anything new?
Wait a moment. Not as far as I can see. Same old, same old.
Oh, so sketchy.
New here, are you? Great. We can use every man.
How are things?
Right now, all's quiet in the camp, so I'm going to relax a little. And if I were you, I'd do the same. Since the bandits are here now, the situation may change faster than we like.
Then maybe we should spend time preparing rather than relaxing.
What do you know about the bandits?
You mean besides the fact that they're a deadly menace and outnumber us by far?
Yes.
They're rolling in gold. Well, at least they were rolling in gold. They never paid for their last shipment. But I doubt that it's because those bastards ran out of gold. It's more likely that they've gotten way too big for their boots.
What do you know about Francis?
You mean besides the fact that he's lazy and incompetent?
Yes.
Let me think. Nope. That's all that springs to mind.
Everyone else has a bit more colorful things to say about him.
How are things?
Greg doesn't come back soon and I don't get a deck under my feet before too long. I'll be getting land sick.
That's not a thing.
No big deal.
This fellow by himself over here. Classic bones.
Can you tell me something about Francis?
Look around you. The only ones working are Henry and his boys. Morgan spends all day in bed or guzzling booze. No such nonsense with Greg. If you don't toe the line, he'll kick you in the butt, and that's that.
How's it going?
I can't complain. It's a bit boring, but at least I don't have to work. I'm preparing for the next task that Greg's given me.
What task?
I mustn't say. No offense, kid, but I've worked hard for the privilege, and I don't want to lose it again.
If you say so. Hang on, he's got one more line.
Can you teach me something?
I'm sorry, I've got no time right now. I've got some training to do.
He really should have known better.
Wait a minute.
I keep thinking that he's out of lines
Who
for some
around
reason.
here can teach me something?
Henry and Morgan are leading our raiding troops. They can teach you how to be a better fighter. Henry's people all use two-handed weapons. Morgan prefers the faster one-handed weapons.
Who else?
Beats me, I've never been interested in anything else. But I'm sure that Alligator Jack or Samuel could still show you a trick or two.
And actually, we didn't check it out, but Bill sawing logs over here can teach us to pick pockets and maybe lock picking and sneaking if we didn't already know it. That just leaves 3 other people to talk to here. We will start with Samuel.
Hey.
Ah, a new face. What do you want, rum or something stronger?
Stronger the better.
I want to talk to you about Francis.
Just don't mention that wannabe captain. He sits on his fat ass all day acting important. We'd all like to know what the hell the captain was thinking when he put him in command here. What do you want from that prig?
Prig?
I must get into Greg's hut.
Really? To do what?
I need a bandit's armor.
Francis will never agree to let you go into the hut so that you can nab a few of Greg's things. Unless...
Yes?
You've got something he really wants. I know that Francis has hidden something in an abandoned mine in the canyon. Once, when we were on guard duty together and he dozed off as always, he went on about it in his sleep. I've no clue what he buried there, but maybe it's so important to him that he'll let you into the hut to get it back. When the captain comes back and finds some of his things are missing, he'll have Francis's hide for it.
What else have you got?
I can get you anything a pirate needs in order to survive.
So, grog, basically.
I want something stronger.
Ah, a seeker. I'm always after new recipes myself. Decent booze should be clear and strong and burn your throat like liquid fire. You don't find that
I
very
prefer
often.
the brown stuff.
But I'm talking too much. You want a drink? Here, my own recipe. How do you like that? I call it hasty herring.
I don't really want to know what's in it.
Impressive.
You can say that again. You wouldn't happen to know a good recipe for booze yourself. If you do, you must tell me. Want another?
So we need one for
Give me
Samuel,
some of your hasty
for
herring.
what's his name?
Rather vile muck, but effective.
Effective indeed, as we'll see in a moment. Brown. So hasty herrings inexplicably give you a sprint bonus. I don't think they last anywhere near as long as the sprint potions. I think it only lasts for about 60 seconds. But it's quite a bit cheaper than sprint potions, so I know people who really like to stockpile these things. For some reason, you can get grog and rum through dialogue options, but the rest...
What else?
You can also buy it here for the same exact prices, so I don't know what the deal is. I guess if you clear these out, it's a way for him to kind of have an infinite stock. Even though I think they easily have the programming to make the merchant inventory restock it, but what do I know?
What's new in the camp?
Nothing much has been happening here since Greg left. Morgan and most of his boys been just hanging around and boozing all day. The only one who does anything at all is Henry. He and his boys are building the palisade. It's high time for Captain Greg to come back and give that Francis a good swift kick in the ass.
Kick in the arse. Alright, so that's all we got. Morgan is here taking a nap.
I'm here to deliver some meat.
I need a sip to wake me up.
That don't look like a sip of coffee to me.
That's better. So again, what do you want?
I'm here to deliver some meat. From Alligator Jack?
I remember. Right. The meat. Give it here.
What are you doing here?
Greg made me commander of one of the 2 raiding troops. I'm responsible for keeping the camp supplied. Alligator Jack sees to that. I'm also responsible for keeping those beasts you find out here well away from the camp. That's what the boys do. I told him I don't want to see a single beast left around here when Greg comes back.
Oh, good luck with that, because none of them seem to be watching out for him.
Do you ever do anything yourself?
Hey, none of that lip. Mine is the most important task of all. I train my people. I make them into the best and most fearless fighters who ever sailed these waters. And it's not like the lads do all that work for nothing. They get a good-sized bag of gold for their efforts.
I want to join your troop.
My troop? My troop is hanging out at the beach. Those boys won't lift a finger until the captain is back. You can count on that. But if you want to show everybody what you're made of, feel free to work on the northern beach. It's full of lurkers and who knows what else. Take them on by yourself, and you'll earn the respect of the people. Welcome to my troop. I'll go lie back down.
Yeah, well, I'm sure your orders will be well taken care of, considering you don't even give it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, glad to see that bug still haunting us. Anyway, just to get a little bit of action in this episode, let's take care of the northern beach. Not at all difficult. Wow! Until these bastards do that. It's just kind enough to just hang out there for a second. So a couple lizards, couple lurkers. But there is a small cave over there, as you can well imagine. Something a little bit more threatening in there. Now the comment made by the pirate over the roasting spit about flotsam washing up on the beach. You can see some of it out there now. We will not collect that in this episode just because I want to get through the rest of the dialogues. Just so we can have a productive day in the next episode. But in the next episode, we'll comb the waters and collect all that. Now, there's a shadow beast in here. Trying to remember how many ice lances it takes to annihilate a shadow beast. Hopefully about this many. Nothing doing. So most creatures actually have a very low magic resistance, which is what makes mages so powerful in general gameplay. It's really the boss type enemies, or things... Well, not the boss type enemies, but... I mean, including them. But... there are a lot of things that present a massive impasse for us. Including in this part of the world. The stone sentinels for the most part. They have quite a high magic resist, although they actually have a lower resistance to... Do they? I think they might have a lower resistance to wind spells, of which there really aren't many. I'll have to look into that, because that might be a strategy, since I've never really used it before.
The northern beach is all cleared.
What about the cave? Have you been there too?
Sure thing.
Ah, great. You're a good man. Here's your reward.
Not bad. More than fucking Henry gave us.
What do you think of Francis?
I don't mind him, as long as he leaves me alone.
Isn't he the boss around here?
He thinks he's the boss, but at some point, Greg will return, and then Francis gets to go back to sawing planks.
Oh, I can't wait till those words really come back to bite you.
Can you train me as well?
Sure, I can show you how to fight with one-handed weapons.
Well, we don't need it.
About Angus and Hank.
Oh, don't remind me of them. They probably got themselves killed by bandits, and Angus had my ring.
Pirates?
Well,
The subtitle was wrong.
It was his ring, in a way. He won it from me playing dice, but I would have gotten it back, and now it's gone. If you find my ring, bring it back to me. I'd certainly make it up to you.
Is there anything else for me to do?
Not at the moment. Go find yourself a bunk and have a decent bottle of rum. Ah, this is good stuff.
Is it? Well, nobody's being friendly enough to just hand us a bottle of rum, which is a shame. Let's give Brandon his hasty herring.
Here you go.
Ah, down the hatch like liquid fire.
Man, the way he hustled that massive bottle of hasty herring was quite impressive.
I must get into Greg's hut.
Greg's hut?
Forget it. Greg's not there. And I've locked the door, and now I see to it that nobody sneaks around here to do a little looting. So make yourself scarce, or I'll let you have it.
Kinda weird that that's our opener.
Greg is your boss?
Now don't try and tell me that you know him. Any sailor, even any cursed landlubber on this island, knows the terrible Captain Gregg.
Crunch?
And he left me in command. I'm responsible for making those lazy bums do what he commanded. Some of the boys may think they can do whatever they damn well want now that the captain's not here. Won't they be surprised when Gregg comes back? I'll tell him everything that's been going on here. Got it? Including who's been trying to get into his hut. So make yourself scarce, or you'll be in a load of trouble.
So we can try and fight him, but well, we have other plans. First,
And there's more, believe
I want to try and follow Samuel's lead, but we're not gonna do that right now because we're at 55 minutes in this episode. Well, it'll be a little bit shorter when I cut that stupid glitch out. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sorry that this was a talk-heavy episode, but at least that takes care of that. Next episode should certainly have a bit more action. So until then, thank you all very kindly for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, where you get notifications every time we stream live, which, starting this coming weekend, I have decided to reschedule for Friday evening and Saturday afternoon, as opposed to Saturday and Sunday. Just to give myself one day out of my weekend where I can have kind of a break. Otherwise, you can come join the Discord server, linked in the description below, if you want to hang out for some assorted banter. Besides that, have yourselves a wonderful week, stay safe, wash your hands, stay healthy, and see you next time.